So I just wanted to do a quick update to the first Making Thinking Visible video that I did. So this is I did the same lesson again with another second year group. So looking at starting the songwriting unit. So we had the same starter. We had a similar sort of discussion. So we had a discussion on the whiteboard about what was it? So why is music so important to so many people? So this was the kind of discussion. This was quite difficult. This was quite difficult to get people to say points here. It was a lot of prompting and giving students cues to maybe steer them in the right direction, a lot more than I would have ideally wanted to do. So I feel a little bit conflicted about whether that was the right way to go or not. When we moved on to the Making Thinking Visible activity, so the circle of viewpoints one from the first video, so we went through it in exactly the same way. It took, similarly to the first one, it took a lot longer the first time through, but this time I was able to get maybe a bit more feedback. There was a few students who found that they thought it was beneficial. They thought it was a lot harder. It was a lot more work. Took a greater toll on them in terms of the lesson. The difficulty with this class was that they found it was slower moving, and I think there was a lot of them that just didn't feel like the extra effort, because it was clearly a lot of extra effort for them in terms of the depth of thinking that they were being asked to do, that they felt the extra effort was justified. Some of them, or one or two of them, felt that it was beneficial, and they felt that they had been pushed that a little bit further, and they seemed to enjoy that. But there'd be definitely obstacles to overcome. So part of that would be obviously because it's new, and because it would be quite slow at the start when they're not used to it and I'm still getting used to it. So part of that would just naturally become slicker as we all become more used to establishing the thinking routines. So I think that would overcome a lot of it. I think helping them to understand what the benefits are in terms of the transferable skills. I think some of them really didn't seem to engage it well in that conversation, and becoming more familiar with how to help students understand what the benefits of being able to think in a deeper way are. So it was a good activity. It did help me, and this is the overall thing that I've been hoping to get from it. It did help me reflect more on terms of who's demonstrating a greater level of understanding within the lesson. It was differentiated in a good way in terms of it helped me assess who's really putting thought effort into what they're saying and what they're doing, and who is clearly taking a back seat, and who is not really being accountable for the progress that they're making within the lesson. So in terms of a discussion-based lesson, it was very good in highlighting that. The challenges definitely were maintaining a positive attitude in the lesson, maintaining a pace of learning, because it did slow down a lot as a result of the learning becoming deeper, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there were certain students that definitely found that challenging and didn't really necessarily enjoy it. So room for thought.